Do you only have $5 to enter an amusement park? Are you indifferent about the operations on major roller coasters? Do you mind if occasionally when you're about to ride their star attraction, Hades 360, you just see parts of wood from the track just kind of hanging out on the side, not actually on the roller coaster? Are you just chill with all of that stuff? Boy, do I have a park for you. It's called Mount Olympus, and it's what you're looking at right now. Actually, the park we're driving past by accident. I think this is yet another video where I start recording as we're actively making mistakes pulling into the amusement park. Oh my. Anyway, so this Jankathon factory, which quite honestly, I'm gonna spoil in advance, I thought was a really great time. Anyway, this amusement park houses four roller coasters, including one of the highest coasters on my bucket list in the country, Hades 360. This thing, man, it is the only other large scale gravity group monstrous woody in the United States that I haven't ridden in any way comparable to the Voyage, which is my favorite roller coaster. And I was told in advance that it's rough as fuck and that the other coasters in the park aren't maintained right and da 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 da. I'm just gonna spoil right now. Either they did track work right before I showed up in the 2023 season, or all of you people are lying because these roller coasters were really, really great and everything was like an order of magnitude higher than I expected it to be. Is the park a little on the jank side? Yeah, it really is. It's a park that, I mean, on more than one roller coaster, I saw a singular one operator running the ride. I've never seen that in any other amusement park in the United States. For one, that's absolutely crazy. We're entering here on a Sunday on the road trip that I just did a couple months ago. And we started earlier on in the day at Bay Beach in Green Bay, Wisconsin, coming in the second half of the day. Normally, the way they get you is if you don't pay for your ticket going into the park online, you have to pay some big gate fee, whatever, and then they slam you with the parking. Well, if you know anything about Mount Olympus going in, you can buy tickets for the park at the crazily, hilariously reduced price of $5 a damn ticket. And if you show up late in the day, which we didn't really realize, check this out. You see how manned these booths are? Check this out. This is normally where they charge you $30, where they get you even if you have the $5 tickets, but we're discovering that there isn't a motherfucker inside any of this. So off we go, $5 each to go into a park with four huge roller coasters. Like, okay, welcome to Mount Olympus. What a great first impression. So we're driving in this parking lot showing superfluous footage that nobody needs to see, and we are absolutely ready to get them. Earlier on in the day, we had a slow start at Bay Beach because we had to wait like 45 minutes for Zippin' Pippin', which kind of sucked a lot of fucks. And we were hoping for a little bit better of a time at Mount Olympus. The crowds were, a little rough, but what are you going to do? We managed to get 2 rides on everything in the first day and then came back for some refreshers on the next day. So I definitely was able to ride everything. So thank God, out of all of the janky qualities of this park, one of them wasn't that all of the shit was closed. Thank goodness. What you're looking at right there is Hades 360. It is the reason I was most excited to go to Wisconsin. This thing is absolutely bonkers, and it is an example of when you give Gravity Group a shitload of money, they can accomplish some of the most batshit crazy shit you've ever seen in your shit. On the other side over there, I'll be honest, it's so far away, and I've had marijuana. It's Zeus or Cyclops. It's one of them. They have that corkscrew thing over there, which is one of only 2 in the United States. They have a bunch in China, but none of us are visiting the China roller coasters, especially when all of them are called Jungle Trailblazer with the exact same name. You don't even know where they are. The only ones that do that shit in the U.S. are Mind Blower at Fun Spot Kissimmee, which is a much, much smaller coaster, and this. And this has that right there is definitely Cyclops. Yeah, I'm going on RCDB, and I'm going to make sure that I don't make mistakes identifying these coasters in advance because my audience doesn't have time for that fucking nonsense. And I want to make sure that I'm, telling you the correct names of all of these fucking roller coasters. Cyclops is the one with the fucking yellow train. Okay, so white is Zeus. Okay, got it. I'm sorry. Alright. Holy shit. I know that I'm doing a bad job at narrating this video, but like, the quality of my presentation is about equivalent to the quality of, you know, at least the quality of what you guys say that Mount Olympus is. Yeah, there's jank, but not on the level that you guys were saying. Either way, I've already discussed that. We can measure our height here, and we can also walk away from it. What you see on that first lift hill on Hades 360, it sends you into a tunnel they carved in, or carved, is that the word, or excavated, whatever, under the parking lot of this park. And I want to say it's the longest tunnel on a wooden coaster, or maybe any coaster in the world. And when they have the lights out, which should be 100% of the time, I don't know why they ever have the lights on. It is one of the most amazing experiences ever, dude. It feels like 20 degrees, 25 degrees colder in the underworld. All you hear is like haunting sounds all around you. The pops of airtime inside are absolutely sick. And right after that, you go into a corkscrew and come right back around. Camelback right back into the underworld. So 2 visits into the underworld to visit Hades. You see right here how absolutely crazily close I am to the track. If you wanted this is something that people joke about. You can stick your hand out and have your hand removed by a moving train. This place definitely has more OSHA violations than the majority of parks you've ever, heard of. And that really just adds to the charm, You're walking into the park, the first thing you see is a weird-ass gift shop where there was, like, no merchandise worth a goddamn fuck. I was like, hey, can we get a Hades 360 shirt? No? Well, you want a shirt for some generic thing that's not even in the park? Sure, I got that for you. The majority of the people who come into this park, I believe, are here for the water park, which allegedly is one of the best in the country. I'm not doing water parks. That's not what I'm doing here. And I'm not really going to be filming much of that either, because filming in water parks is just, I don't like that. It's just weird shit. We're here for the dry rides, and honestly, I wish everyone would be on the water rides and just leave me and my friend Colson to just ride all of the dry rides alone, but I know that's a very selfish request. So we're going down the hill, and just right off the bat, the way that this park is designed is very fucking peculiar. The pathway you're looking at right now is the only way in and out of the park, and when you're exhausted after a long day of just weird shit at Mount Olympus, you have to do this uphill walk all the way out there. It sucks. That coaster right there, that coaster absolutely doesn't suck. That's Zeus. And it is a coaster that I expected to be like number 120 in my rankings, not like top 50 or whatever the fuck it did. Nah, I'm gonna have to look up that too in the middle of my review without editing. Zeus, yeah, 33. My 15th favorite wood coaster, which I couldn't even freaking believe. Cyclops, equally good, equally better than, man, I can't edit this. Let me just try again. All of them are a standard deviation higher in quality than I expected them to be, which is sick, including this guy right here. Colson and I were just fucking around. Like, I don't know what the context was, but we were just talking about, like, if we wanted to make a truly bootlegged Mount Olympus, where we'd have to kind of rename the rides to where they're pronounced wrong. So we were waiting in line for Zeus, Zeus, and we're like, all right, how do we corrupt Hades? And Colson just dropped this fucking banger. He was like, all right, we're going to call that Hades. So for the entire day, we were just like, are we about to get another ride on Hades? It makes it sound like the Greek underworld god. Yeah, look at us excited about this way. Yeah, oh, fuck this shit. It makes it sound a lot less impactful. You got the Greek god Hades. He's like, hey, come on, check out Hades. You can get cheap discount shades or sunglasses I don't know what I'm talking about. That joke, I fucked that joke up. Okay, we're walking away from that. We didn't even ride it. We're like, all right, that crowd's already fucked up. Let me get a sip of this Jucifer. And while I stall for time, hit my marijuana pipe or vape. It's a disposable vape. Drink some water, everybody. All right. So we said fuck that. We We're going to ride those go-karts you're looking at on the second day because we showed up in Hades 360. We were trying to rope drop it, and of course it wasn't open. So we just waited in 40 minutes in the line for that thing while just eyeballing Hades. And like right when we were about to board the fucking go-karts, Hades opened, so we didn't ride the go-karts because that's not important. Apparently that's like one of the big aspects of the park, but can't tell you shit about it because with all the waiting we had to do for their 4 wooden coasters and so little time, man, fuck that shit. So anyway, we were just a little after rope drop, and we decided, fuck it, let's try to check out what's going on with Cyclops. Pretty damn smooth. PTC trains on all of that shit except for Hades, and really, really fucking fun ride. I have absolutely no complaints. That little drop right there is so much more intense and yeety than you would imagine it is. And like near the end of the ride too. So like you're already having a great time and then it just shits you out. You know how like Raven at the very end at Holiday World gives you that extra like finale of happy? It's not as epic for sure, but it's same kind of energy. And I love Cyclops for that. So now we're walking toward the undesirable place that is the water park. Ugh. Just water parks and just too many families and children and not my style location. I don't know why that's labeled the Hades barbecue pit when it's nowhere near Hades. Zeus, Cyclops, and Pegasus are all located closer to that store than Hades is. And speaking of Pegasus, woo! What the fuck is this roller coaster? I know more than one person who consider this their actual least favorite roller coaster. I'm definitely not going that far. Pegasus, how do I describe this weird son of a bitch? I have it ranked number 139, so I'm not going to be going hardcore and telling you that it's the best thing in the world, but that thing feels like a drunken teenager having a temper tantrum as a wooden roller coaster. Hear me out. Watch the POV, like look in the description. By the way, I do this in all the descriptions of my videos. You can click into the POV at the timestamp of exactly when I walk up to the coaster. It's pretty cool, because I'm just not bothering putting POVs in my videos when other people do it so much better than I can. Anyway, it does these wild mouse turns on a wooden coaster that make absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever. It meanders, it's janky, it shakes you. None of the profiling makes any sense. In the very end of the ride, I'm sure you saw the shit on Airtime Thrills and all that stuff, where it diagonally, crookedly banks you super whippy to the side at the very last second before hitting the brake run. Everyone collectively just snaps their necks, and it's the funniest shit ever. So the whole time you're just being jostled around, and nothing's smooth, nothing's pleasant, everything is just fucked up. I like how I'm just going on and on about Pegasus when I'm like boarding Cyclops. Whatever, dude. I don't even know. What's going on? Did I actually record on this road? I don't think I got permission for that. Am I about to just like make it look like I'm about to record riding Cyclops, but then I can't? Yeah, I think I was just relying on the opportunity that, all right, these people actually don't give a fuck about this park. They're going to let me record while on it. And they didn't. So I was disappointed because of all the ways a park can be jank, letting a guy holding a GoPro on a stick on a roller coaster, that's one of the things you shouldn't do. Actually, it doesn't matter. I don't know. I was going to do it if they let me. I was trying to. Anyway, so we're Zeus and Hades are very aggressive today and every day because they get maintained kind of poorly, apparently, according to people. They don't. They really don't. They are rough. They do shake you, but that makes them bosses. They're monsters. They're sick. That right there. People complain about the damn Timberliner trains on Hades, and I can imagine PTC trains on that would be better, but hey, if it can't do the corkscrew and all of that, what are you going to do? The Timberliners, they aren't my favorite trains in the world, but they ride this track super well. It's super fun. It's super awesome the entire time. The pre-lift section on Hades 360 is almost a roller coaster by itself. Like a full-length, small roller coaster by itself. Super sick. And then you go on like this epic-ass lift hill, and the very next thing is it just shits you into the underworld. The sensory overload, like, you know how you ride a roller coaster in pitch darkness, like a wood coaster, and you can't see absolutely anything? Yeah, it's doing that kind of shit twice during the same ride, even during the day. The senses of just the all around you, so good, so good. It's a little rough, but rough to the point of like people having like cognitive dissonance that I love this ride so much, yet it's so rough that I can't allow myself to enjoy it. I do not know what these terrorists with these opinions are rambling and shitting on about. That shit is amazing. And you can go and shut the fuck up on that. And I think this is Pegasus. Is this like the ending of Pegasus that's all shut up? Wait a minute. Do I get a good... I forgot that I even recorded this. That's kind of cool. I mean, we're waiting for it, and I don't see it yet, so am I just like blue balling? I'm just going to drink this beer while we wait for this. I'm not... Oh, fuck. Come on, get there, man. Oh, man. I just hit my pop filter and like... All right, it's still on my desk. Good. Oh, there it is. All right, look, check that out. What the fuck? I mean, like, it's an engineering mistake. That's what it looks like. Or the carpenters, they were like 98% done making Pegasus, and they're like, all right, fuck this. We're drunk on the job. We don't have time for this shit. Get the fuck out. So look, I don't know if you see me videoing it. Maybe I didn't. But on Hades, when they were operating the roller coaster that we're waiting like almost an hour for, fuck off. We saw a guy like working, like, you see like those metal supports. He was like working on like the electrical something or other. And the ride was testing, and I think even operating. The guy was just hanging out up there. I mean, this park just feels pretty DIY on the most part. And I'm not sure that's what amusement parks are supposed to feel like. But I gotta tell you, Also, I also don't know if I get it, but further in this line before it curves to the right before going up the stairs, you see a loose wooden board. Look, yeah, look at this. You could just fucking get hurt. Look, you can just put your hand in there and get fucked up all multiple parts of the ride. Anyway, there's another part where there's just lumber that belongs physically on the roller coaster, and it's just sitting on the ground next to it. I took a picture of it somewhere, and maybe I don't know. But look, this roller coaster is pretty intimidating for people who are worried about like safety and OSHA violations on amusement attractions and whatnot. But hey, look, with their one operator looking ass and like 8-minute dispatches and questionable everything, putting that shit to the side, this is top 3 layouts of all time for me. I would give it I would just go and call it my number 1 if the Voyage's layout didn't exist. This setting you see with all the trees and stuff, it's absolutely stunning. So it's kind of cool that you get like a visual of like the woods and all this really lovely stuff, and then the rest of it is parking lot. But look, someone told me this is a parking lot coaster. However, is it really? Because if you're underground, you're not looking at the parking lot, and you only see it when you're going down into it. I really can't call that a parking lot coaster. Anyway, this parking lot coaster, Hades 360, is my number 5 overall. Out of 365, I couldn't believe it. I thought it would be like top 25, maybe. But this thing blew me away. I am going to return to Mount Olympus 2 out of every 3 years from now on, as long as this thing remains operational, because I love this fucking roller coaster. It is worth going to Mount Olympus just for it. If you're a fan of the Voyage, this thing is mandatory. Zeus and Cyclops, I would say this park is like a cousin to Holiday World, where you have Voyage as number 1. This place has Hades 360. A complete remix of the Voyage, but with a similar scale. And then you have Zeus and Cyclops rather than Raven and Legend. Are Raven and Legend better? Yeah. But there's Zeus and Cyclops are like sick, amazing airtime, really re-rideable, lots of fun. And then you got Pegasus, which is Pegasus. And then Little Titans, doesn't matter if the kids coaster, they didn't even let us ride it. So, I mean, whatever. Mount Olympus is a very interesting park. Hold on. And then we got food, and so we were told to get like their gyros or whatever, and we spent like 1,000,000 hours trying to fucking find that shit. And we found it. We had to go through the water park, which I'm not filming. I'm not filming people in bathing suits of just mixed levels of what they're doing and how they look and how their families. And I'm not filming in water parks. You can go and look at other weird channels that film inside there and violate people's privacy while they're in a water park and shit. Anyway, I'm leaving this place now, but I will return, and you should return after you visit for the first time, which you might have to. Oh man, I'm losing it in this video. Either way, Mount Olympus kicks a lot of ass, and I think that this is a park that everyone should visit once if they're a fan of lip coasters and, you know, general jank. And maybe I just had a good day, and maybe next time I'll come and it'll be just a complete disaster where everything fucking sucks. But as far as I'm concerned, with my 2 half days at Mount Olympus a couple months ago, fucking god tier wood coaster lineup in my opinion. I mean, I don't know what else to say. That beauty right there. If you don't ride this thing, I need you to find a way. I need you to find a way to ride this. It costs $5. You have $5. Just find yourself in Wisconsin Dells. You can do it. I believe in you.